Alright, I'm using Pie Day as an excuse to make my favorite pie, which is pecan. This is kind of a Frankenstein pie because I just have this frozen pie dough from Thanksgiving that was been in my freezer forever, and I didn't thaw it out correctly like I should by leaving it in the fridge for a few days. So the butter got a little warm and it kind of is a little hodgepodge here, but here I'm rolling it out after it thawed. So I can teach you a little bit about rolling pie dough. You don't want to roll all the way across the whole disc. You want to roll like halfway up the disc to the top so that you roll evenly. And I roll between two sheets of parchment paper so there's no sticking. Um, you'll see I have a bunch of cracking. That's probably because it's the pie dough is super old and I didn't thaw it out correctly. But another mistake I made here, because I haven't made pie in a few months, and I forgot, is to flour my rolling pin and flour the pie so it doesn't stick to itself when you roll it onto the rolling pin. But it'll be fine. I just kind of did a little patchwork. And then for the pecan pie filling, this is just like a standard recipe. It's like 3 eggs, a cup of light corn syrup, 4 tablespoons of melted butter, 2 tablespoons of honey that I let soak in like a warm water bath so that it pours easier. That's a quarter cup of brown sugar, a half a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of vanilla, and then I'm whisking it together. And then I'll take 2 cups of pecans and roughly chop those. And then I'll leave another cup of pecans whole. All 3 cups of pecans will be lightly toasted until they're fragrant but not browned, because the pecans are going to go in the oven and get more roasting. So it's just to impart a little bit of that roasted flavor because you don't want raw. So the chopped stuff goes directly onto the pie dough and then covered with the filling. And then after I pour on the filling, I'll arrange all the pecans on top, the whole pecans, into this nice little decorative arrangement. So another tidbit here, my pie dish is like 10.5 inches for some reason when the standard is 9. So my standard pie dough recipe does not fit my pie dish to go over the edge. That's why it looks all kind of crummy and not all the way up. But every time I go to the grocery store, I say I'm going to buy a 9-inch pie dish, but I always forget. Anyway, it goes in the oven for a total of an hour. For the last 20 minutes, I covered it with foil so that the pecans didn't burn. And I think they took on a really good color here. I see one pecan that got a little dark, but the rest are like perfectly colored. And then you gotta let this rest for 2 hours before you eat it, which is a bummer. Not a super involved recipe by any means, but it's been a while since I made one, so I wanted to put something together. So thanks for watching, guys.